Hello, hello. It is Saturday at 5:30 p.m. I know a lot of you have a lot more interesting things to do than sit around and craft on Saturday nights, but here I am. I usually, lately have been going live on Fridays because I have so much stuff that I go live on Wednesday at 2 and then Friday mornings. But yesterday I went to the Scrapbook Expo. And so I didn't get a chance to do a live, and I thought, well, I have so much I want to show in the next month and ongoing. I thought I might as well just do this anyway. So this is the project that I'm working on right now. I am in a purge mode in my craft room. I have been going through my papers and deciding whether I will really ever use them all or not. And the ones that I'm not sure I'll use for scrapbooking, I am doing mega assembly line. So I don't know how many of you do this kind of paper pack, but I just thought I'd show you what I do to get a lot of cards done in a quick time frame. So this is one of the Echo Park paper packs. It's one of the ones that has like the major collection of papers that are double-sided, and then it has like a sticker sheet, and it has a couple of sheets of cut-up parts. And I'm always drawn to these, and especially at the scrapbook expos and things like that, they always have one or two that I'm dying to buy, but then they have a special. If you buy 3, you get them for a discounted price. And so I'm always trying to figure out what to buy, and I often buy the Christmas one because then I can make Christmas cards. So what I do is I shuffle through the papers in the pack and kind of look at the different papers to see if there's anything I would actually use to scrapbook. I got to admit, I'm a snob when it comes to scrapbooking, and I really like close to my heart products. I like Club Scrap products. I'm super picky what I use in my scrapbooks because I don't have tons of photos like I used to. And so I don't just scrapbook to get everything done fast anymore. I scrapbook to make each page a work of art. So these are card making projects for me. And so I will use the sticker sheet, and then I look at the papers and front and back and decide which one I'll use. Now see, this is geared to a scrapbooker, and I'm going to be making cards, so I'll use the other side. I just kind of go through each paper that way. I use a lot of solid reds and solid greens, but the other side would be great card fronts without a lot of work, so I'll use that side. This is very busy background, but it has a lot of pieces that I would use for card front, so I would cut that apart. And I just go through and I pick and choose. Now these are for tags. I probably would not use them for tags, and there's not very many that are really geared to cards unless you're willing to fussy cut all of these little images out and stuff. No, I will use the candy cane side. And so I just kind of go through and I pick, I like both sides of that. So I will probably end up using both of those. I really love that. Ooh, pretty, pretty. Now that would make a really neat card front. I'll use that. And I think the presents are too bold. I like the subtleness of this one. Every now and then I run across a print that I think, oh, I love it. I might use that as a card background, or I might use it for scrapbooking. And those I pull aside and set aside and keep them whole, like this one, out of the other packs. So I just kind of go through and I purge through my papers. Now, you guys are gonna freak out when I tell you what I do next. I cut everything down. Every page, I cut it down. So I have a couple that I'm working on right now. I bought these paper packs. There's 2 of them. I'm not gonna scrapbook with them. And I even cut the covers off so I can use the little prints off of the covers on the front of my cards. And I often do. So I cut a lot of them down into like, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then I cut a lot of them down as 4 by 5 1/4 so that they would nest. I cut some of them even smaller, like 3 3/4 by 4 3/4, just so they would nest. I want to have some nesting potential. And then some of the pieces I had started using already, and so I cut them down into like 4 by 4 because those will make great cards too. And then all those pieces that make great card fronts, I cut those apart and set those aside, right? So I have those pieces, and then you always have leftover weirdo sizes when you cut like this. You end up with, you might end up with 4" by 12" strips. These would make great card fronts. And so I just kind of keep them whole until I decide how I'm going to use them. And then some of these I have cut into like 2 or 3" strips, and a lot of 1 1/2 to 2" strips. See, like I loved this Santa paper, and I thought that would be, really fun to use across a card. So I cut those down, and you can see I have tons. And then on the sticker sheet at the bottom, there's always those long scrapbook stickers, and I just cut those off. So I put them with my strips so that I can just lay these out on my desk like this, and I can pick through what I want to use for my card. And so I have everything all laid out. Then I go to my cardstock pack. I have a lot of cardstock that is not close to my heart or is retired from close to my heart, and I just don't use it very fast. And so I go through that stack and I pull some colors that would make great Christmas cards. So reds and browns and blues, colors that coordinate with my paper pack. And then I decide a style. Now, some of them I just cut to main card front pieces. A lot of you have that red cardstock that I gave you from Steve, and that would be perfect to cut into, cardstock card bases, right? And so I have that. And then I choose a style. So for example, one of my favorite fast, easy styles that uses scraps is a Z-fold card. And so I cut these, 4 1/4 by 11, so that when they're folded in half, they're a standard card front, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I score the center of the front. I don't have my lights on today, so it's a little harder to see, but it makes like this front. And then I always have excess pieces to make the rest of the Z fold with. And I have all my fun stickers that I can use for my cards. So I just want to show you kind of like what I do. I have so much fun. Like I will go through and pick out things that coordinate together. Like I really, I love this little snowman. Isn't he cute? And that goes with this brown, really nice. And I feel like I need some red or green to go with it. So that's when I, go through my stack and look for, something that I think would coordinate. That's very rustic looking. I like how that looks. And then maybe for my Z-fold piece, maybe I want to use this. I need to cut it to 11. And this is another thing that I'm going to see on the back. It was one of those scrapbook pieces. I'm going to fold it in half, so it'll be the 5.5, and then the front, then I'm going to fold one piece back like that. And then you can see it's so fast, but for a Z fold, you just put adhesive on the parts that is showing, and you would lay it on top. Now let's put our background on. So see how I have them all cut down so that they will nest right in there just perfectly. And then Z-fold, see how I'm taking my folded piece and I put the adhesive on, and I'm just gonna put it right here, just like that. And I love how that looks. Now I'm going to put this cute little snowman on here, just like that. I feel like he needs a border. So that's when I pull into my, some of my bigger strips and see if I have something that I think would be like, make him pop off the page a little bit. And oh, look, I got that candy cane stripe. That would make him pop really nicely. So I'm gonna put this on here. I just dropped my glue gun, my adhesive gun. I guess I'm back to liquid glue. Okay, and so now I'm just gonna put this on. Now remember, when you open this, it's gonna overhang just a little, so you're not gonna put glue on the entire thing. So I'm just gonna do this and put that on. And I have a card. Now, at the very end of everything, I will add Merry Christmas. I just stamp like a whole bunch of Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday type messages and put them on here. But if there's something on my sticker sheet that I think will really look great, I'll grab it. So for example, this cute little snowflake, you know, put it up in this corner. I love that. And then, you know, I might, this Oh What Fun, look how cute that is. I'll put that on there too. Ta-da! Okay, so one card done. So this is my assembly line style, and I just made one. Let me show you what I've made so far. This paper that I have is left over. I used 2 of these paper packs. I don't know why I bought 2 of them. They're a little different, but you know, I'm just a sucker for these like Echo Park packs or whatever. So I'm going to show you all the cards that I've made, a lot. Okay, so there's the one we just made. I will go through and add Merry Christmas messages later. I'm going to add just a smidge of glue right there, just to hold that down to the front. There. Ta-da! And I like to add gems. And here's another one. And this is just with the cut-aparts and the stickers. I haven't really added anything yet. Here's one where I used one of those card front, and I didn't add the second Z. It's a Z fold still, but I didn't add the whole hinge piece, I guess you'd call it. And I really like how that looks. I got a little crooked, but not terrible. All right, like that. There's another one where I did the same thing, and I kind of like having a panel where I don't put any paper or anything where I could actually write. I can put the Merry Christmas message in here, or Happy Holidays or whatever, and then I can write, you know, a message in there or on the back. Here I did the Z fold, and it had a banner on it. That was one of those scrapbooking those big scrapbooking pieces I cut down. And so I just thought that was really cute to put at the top. And I just put the little Santa sticker on there. This one is one of the little cut aparts that I thought made a cute card. It's a little busy, but it is still really sweet. And I think when I add some bling to it, it'll pop. I might even add stickles to the little berries, just to make it special, you know. Like sometimes you just need to add a little something to these. I love the little red trucks and the Christmas trees. Look how cute. It's adorable. That's a sticker. That's a cut apart. Here's another one with that little reindeer. And I used the 1-inch Santa. This was Santa paper. The entire sheet was Santa's. And so I cut it into like, not quite an inch. I just kind of cut it between the Santas on the page so that I would have a whole bunch of strips of Santas, because I thought that would be a really cute way to make that card. And here's another one of those scrapbook strips in this paper, little Rudolph. I just love it. Here's one with the wood grain, and there's that Santa paper that I did not cut. I cut almost all of it up, but I think I kept 4 inches, a 4x12 piece that I used as background on a couple of these. When you cut your paper down, it's nice to have it in different sizes so that when you're just grabbing, like I saw this little Santa cut apart and I thought, well, it'd be cute to have little reindeer or other little Santas or little trees. I mean, just something that goes with Santa, presents, whatever. And so there you go. And snowman, I put the sticker of the tree and presents and the word Merry, and I will probably just have the word Christmas going across there, like, because when you open it, it'll say like Merry Christmas. I like that idea. Here is a cut apart, and this is a sticker, and I did the same kind of thing. And I think this one is going to require like a white panel or something, but really pretty good. So I left space for some messaging, space for some decorating with little embellishments. So you can just do a lot of these little Z folds. This little cut apart, this is a cut apart, and this is a sticker. This Merry Christmas across the bottom was one of the, you know, long 12-inch strips that I just cut down. So you can see here that I have made, I don't know how many cards. I've lost track. At least 20, probably more than that. Look at that truck. Isn't that cool? I cut that out of one of the, you know, 4x6 pieces that come, you know how you get those pocket cards. So these are the pocket card ones. I just cut them down. Aren't they cute? This is my favorite. I love Rudolph. And I used that Rudolph paper. And then I did make some just normal, you know, normal opening cards, but to make them special, I did that all over shaker onto that 4x6 cut apart that I cut down. So I didn't really do much to this. I literally cut it down to fit the card front, and this is the packaging that came with it. Let me just grab a piece to show you. I have gobs of this style of packaging that stickers and things come in, and I just save it. And so if you lay your, if you lay your piece on and then put like tape or adhesive around and just wrap it like that and then fill it with shaker material, it makes a card front. And so you can cut this apart and use it for shakers, which is really great. And I think that's really cute. I don't even think it needs anything else. I might put a couple of big snowflakes on there out of my sticker sheet, or maybe die cut something. So this is my assembly line style, and I like to send cards to JJ for the elderly, or even just send them to my neighbors and my friends, postmen, blah, blah, blah. By the time you do that, sometimes you just need a lot of cards. I'm going to look and see how much I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 19, 20, 21, 22 cards so far. And I still have all of this to work with. What'll probably happen is I'll run out a little bit on the cards, the decorative parts. But see, I still have quite a few. There's another truck I can do, the big giant Merry Christmas. I could do the snow globe. There's 4 cards right there. The little wreath, some of the messages, you just have to think out of the box a little bit, because since these packs seem to be geared more to scrapbooking, when you're making cards and you're trying to do like a whole bunch of just a whole bunch of cards and use up your stash, you just have to think a little differently. You might even put a photo of your family in there. That'd be fine. This one right here, you can just cut it apart and you can use it I think I used one of these on one of my cards in there. So just wow, right? Just wow. Lots of options. And like I said, I also use these strips just as a decorative edge. If I have a card, I want to use a card front, and I cut this down to size. I'll just sit here for a couple hours and just make card fronts. Just start popping them up like this. And sometimes I will see, something in here that I think would really work well, like maybe that plaid, and I'll just go in with my trimmer, which is just off camera, but I'll go in here and I'll trim that and cut that down so that I have some fun card bases. So you guys, this is what I was going to share yesterday, and I got tied up. But I just thought maybe you guys would like to see my style of, making ththings just, oh, look at that Santa. That Santa would look cute too. Hold on a minute, I want to cut that one too. That's cute too. Aw, I could do both. I can just put them both on there. See how cute that'll look. And there's another card done. Well, almost done. I'll probably bling it up somehow, but you get the drift. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share, And I hope you join me Wednesday. I'm going to go through the new catalog, the annual Essentials catalog. And then I'll probably show you a few other things that I've been working on. So thanks for joining me. I hope you're crafting and having fun. If not, come over and join me. Just message me. Good night.